Welcome. So this class is called Yoga Shifted. So some of it may look familiar to you and some may not look so familiar to you, but I guarantee it's all great work for our body. You will need a chair, of course, on your mat. And if you have a yoga strap or some equivalent around your house, you can find tie, a scarf, a belt from something else, or maybe an exercise band. And a chip foam block if you have, or a pillow would work very nicely in this case. So grab those things, and hit pause, round up your things, and we'll come back. We are going to start on our backs in what is called static back. It's a variation of legs up the wall with legs up on the chair. So the seat of your chair, it's a sturdy chair, right? Like a dining chair, kitchen chair, right? An office chair if it doesn't have wheels. It's going to be on the front of your mat, seat is facing you. You come down in front of there and then swing your legs so that your calves are resting on the seat of the chair. You can play with, well actually we're looking for some degree of bend in the knees and the hips. That's even, it says a 90-degree bend in your knees and your hips. So you may have to bring your seat closer or further away, an equal distance between your knees and your ankles. A little look at that. Then your arms can rest away from your body. Maybe wriggle off the mat a little bit with the back and shoulders, that kind of area. So we're not crunched down with our legs. Guide that chin towards your heart. And if you're comfortable, you close your eyes here. This opening relaxation. Know that all you did is come to your mat and do this. You'd be doing your yoga. So you could do that if you like. And we're going to interlace our fingers up above the chest area. So extending your arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers together. I'm going to inhale, take those arms up overhead. So these are pullovers. And exhale, bring them back over that chest area. And only taking those arms back as far as you can until the ribs want to poke up and lift up. I'm going to keep those down. So that might mean you're not taking your arms as further overhead as you might think you can. This is a shoulder movement, it's not a rib movement, so my ribs can help me. Ooh, look how stretchy I am. But we want to keep this locked down just above the shoulders. I'm going to go to that point and then bring it back. It might, after a few of these, your shoulders may warm up and allow you to go a little further without those ribs poking up. Bring awareness into those ribs, keep them pulled down and in. So we'll do about 5 more. Inhale, they go over. Exhale, coming back. Perhaps one more. And return to center. Let go of those hands. And come off the chair, so you can roll over to one side and hug the knees in, and then push your way up. We're gonna actually sit on the chair. You can keep it where you keep yours where it is, but I'm gonna move mine mid-mat so you can see me a little bit better. Sit on the front edge of your chair. Actually, go this way. Sitting on the front edge of your chair. Good. Lower half of my leg bone is coming directly out from down from my knees. Equal distance between those legs, right? Hip width distance apart. Sitting on the front edge, you're gonna find that curve in the low back. We can exaggerate that arch a little bit in the low back. We're gonna do a scapular contraction. Hands are on your thighs, and those hands are gonna slide back and forth. So you draw the elbows, pull those elbows back, pinching your shoulder blades together behind you, and then slide those hands forward. So protracting and retracting the scapula. That's the shoulder blades. You want to move with the breath. You can exhale as the elbows pull back, shoulder blades pinch together. Inhale as the hands slide forward. Chin parallel with the floor, sit up nice and tall. Good job. Do 5 more of these. In your own practice, if you weren't, say, watching the video, you could do up to 3 sets of 20 of these. Keep it a little briefer. You feeling that work in the shoulder blades between there? I am. Good. Nice. Let that go. Maybe shake up the shoulders a little bit. And then find your either your chip bone block or pillow, whatever you're using, and place that between the thighs. We're going to squeeze into that. I'm going to move forward now. You get the idea of what's going on there in the chair. Okay, squeezing that block between your thighs. You're still at the front edge of your seat. Squeeze into your block and relax, release. Good. Really working those inner thigh muscles or adductors. Don't let your block fall. Good. Keep holding, squeezing and releasing. Don't hold the whole time either. I'll also be doing the release. Nice. Lots of feedback happening here. Those inner thighs get a little cranky. Good. Five more. Again, you could do more of these your own time. Feeling like you need some homework. Maybe you resonated with one of these moves a lot, like, gee, I could do some more of that. It feels like really good for my body. Good. Just for a moment, take your brick out so you can give those legs a bit of shake. We're going to put it back in there for some heel raises. So we're going to get a little calf workout, but your inner thigh is going to hold that brick there, so they're going to work too. Okay. Come up onto those toes, holding your brick there, and bring the heels back down. Simple, but maybe not easy. Good. Heel raises. Lots of activity happening here. Calves, inner thighs. Maybe feel a little bit of your quads working. You know what's not working? Our glutes, because we're sitting on the chair, they don't have to work. So right after this, we're going to put them to work. And introductory calf raises, because we're also going to work those a little bit more in a bit. Good. Heels are up. You can grab that brick, so it's a little bit closer. Put those heels back down and the brick off beside you, or your pillow, I should say, your chip bone block. And then come on up. Maybe get the chair off your mat, out of the way for the time being. We will end up there again. Okay. As promised, we're going to work those glutes, the gluteal contractions. Standing gluteal contractions, we're going to do a few different positions of this, so make sure we're all starting in neutral. So feet about hip width distance apart, toes are all pointing forward. You know where your glutes are, they're back there. You're going to squeeze, turn them on, and then relax, release. Sounds easy enough, but maybe one of those movements is tricky for you. Maybe it's the contraction, maybe it's the release. We need to be able to do both. Good. No equipment necessary. Using your own body. Good. You might have to really concentrate on those muscles to make that contraction. If they haven't been worked, you kind of lose that connection, that mind-body connection, which yoga is about, right? We're yoking mind and body. Good. A few more here. First position. Good. And good. Feet turned out. Turn your toes out. Heels don't have to touch, but they're a little closer together than your toes. And then And squeeze again, and release again. Same idea, and it might feel a little different position. Nice. If you're standing in a line somewhere, you can do your glute contractions. Or standing talking to somebody, they don't have to know what you're doing. Sneak in work all throughout your day. And there's no excuses that we don't have time. Right, we're layering, stacking our life. Good. 3 more in this position. I've got more for you. I don't want to wear you all out. All right, turn your toes back. These are inline gluteal contractions. Whatever foot you want to start with, but put one foot in front of the other. And no, your heel and your toes don't have to be touching here. This might be a little wobbly for someone balanced, so if you need the wall or the back of a sturdy chair, you can be using that here. Okay, squeeze again and release again. Noticing the difference between the other positions and this one. Easier, harder, all the same. Don't feel anything. Just note these things and then let it go. Told you we'd be putting those glutes to work. That they don't work on the chair, but they can work here. Good. 5 more of this position because we're going to do the other one where the other foot's in front. Good. And 1. Good. Soften the other foot in front. Good. Heel and toes do not have to be touching here. This might be more trickier for your balance, 1 foot in front of the other. Squeeze and release. Good. Ooh, get a little cranky back there. A few more. Nicely done, good work. Give that, how about 2 more? Excellent, bring those feet back in line. All right, shake it out a little bit. We'll give the lower half a break. We're gonna work the upper half. All right, circles, our shoulder circles, okay. So you can extend your arms out from the shoulders. Fold your fingers in so that your finger pads are touching, say, if you had calluses, or the top of your palms here. Thumbs are going to point forward, palms are facing down, shoulders away from the ears, and we're going to circle forward. Circle those arms forward. Soften your knees while you're standing here. Good. Keep it up. I know your arms might be getting heavy. Not done yet. Okay, pause, flip the palms up to face the ceiling. Thumbs are now pointing behind you. Make your circles backwards. It's burning, I know, but it's good work. Moving the fluids in the shoulder joints. Okay, pause. Bring your knuckles to your temples. The thumbs are pointing down towards your floor or your mat. Bring those elbows together and open up. We can use the breath here. Exhale as the elbows come together. Inhale as they open out to the sides. Now you're wishing we were working the glutes and the shoulders are burning. Alright, or you're alternating upper and lower body. Alright, last curl, open up, release, shake a little. Interlace your fingers in front of your heart, push the palms away. My arms are going to get cut off, but you're going to get the idea. We take those arms up overhead, palm tree. Pull up from your sides nice long, push the heels of your hands up to the ceiling. Soften your knees. Good. Releasing the neck a little. All right, release those hands. Giving the upper body break, back down to the lower half, calf raises. I promise you these were coming. We're gonna rainbow these ones. First position, neutral. Toes are pointing forward, feet are about hip width distance apart. If you need something for balance, feel free to use the wall or your chair. Or bring those heels up off the floor, drop them back down. Easy for me to say. Good. Shoulders up, back and down. They're relaxing now. Good. Burning just enough that we can change the position. Turn your toes out, heels no, not touching, but they're a little closer together, and come on up. Good. Ooh, feel a little bit like a ballerina. This is what they must feel like all day. Good. We will have 3 positions in our rainbowing. Just let you know ahead of time. We got 1 more. 3. Good. 2. Oh my goodness. 1. I feel it. Turn your toes in. Feel pigeon-toed. Heels are a little wider. Last position. This one might feel awkward again if you need something for balance. Don't be shy about that. And bring the heels up. Put them back down. Simple, right? But maybe not easy. Good. Getting a good burn there. Ooh. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it off. Make your way over. I talk about we need a bit of a wall space. We're going to do a wall sit. Bare feet. I don't want your feet sliding, and get the mat out of the way again because that might slip on you as well. Okay, just you and the wall. Bring your seat up to the wall. Slide the back down. Looking for 90, 90. The hips and the knees. Legs about hip width distance apart. Hands resting comfortably on your legs, your lap. Think about pushing the small of your back into the wall as well. Look straight ahead. Nothing to see here. Okay. And breathe if you can too. I am counting. I just didn't let you know what that was. You could do up to a minute here. We're not going to do that long, but you could do that on your own time if you like. 5 more seconds. It's a slow 5 seconds though. Hands into the wall, push it in, and come on up. Give it a little massage. Walk it off, walk around a little bit. Put your mat back in place. We're going to come down to our seats on the mat here in a bit. I want you to walk it off. Shake out those legs. Do a little stretching. And coming down even further, cooling down. So down to your seat. Carefully. Good. Half forward to the fish pose. Great stretch for those glutes that we worked. Remember those? Give your left leg straight out in front of you. Cross your right foot over. Trying to keep the whole bottom of your right foot on your mat. That foot doesn't have to be really high either. Knee height, even lower perhaps. So hopefully your right knee should be looking at you right now. If it's your other right knee, switch the other leg, okay? Opposite hand or elbow hugs it in. So that left arm is going to hug that right knee in. Right hand behind your seat, thumb pointing towards your seat. Nice and tall. Exhale, begin to twist to your right. Belly goes, chest, head lifts the gaze over that right shoulder. Keep that bottom leg active so the toes up towards the ceiling. On an inhale, you bring your gaze back to center, untwist from the top down. Stretch that right leg out, give it a bounce before we go to the next side. Right leg is staying active, long, crossing the left one over, opposite hand and hugging it. Left hand behind your seat, there's the kickstand on your bicycle. Exhale, begin to twist to your left. Watch that right foot, it doesn't get lazy, doesn't wilt, keep it active. Inhale, bring the gaze back to center, untwist from the top down, Stretch the left leg out, give them a bounce. And then we're going to circle those legs around behind us, coming into a tabletop position. Cat-cow, nice, great movement for the spine, not just nice, it's great movement for the spine. I'll go this way. Knees are underneath the hips, shoulders are over the elbows, over the wrists-ish, hopefully. And inhale, tip that tailbone up to the ceiling, get that curve in the low back, moves to the spine, lift the back of the head to the ceiling, lift your chin. Exhale, begin to tuck your tail between the legs, round into the spine, push the floor away, tuck chin towards the heart. Inhale to your cow. Exhale up into your cat. Slow the breath and the movement down. Enjoy the articulation of the spine here. Finish off in my last cat, ending that cycle. Next the back into neutral position, and then we'll step the left foot towards the top of your mat. First pull or drag that foot up there. Good. Low lunge. We're keeping it nice and low. Hands stay down here on your mat. Maybe a little bit higher if you want to bring them up to the thighs. Good. Stretching all those areas we worked. There may be a little bit of work left yet, but enjoying this along the way. Any means necessary, switch to your other leg. Okay, right one up. Low lunge, second side. Perfect. We'll step that foot back. We're going to come down to our backs, but make sure you have everything set up before you do. So we're going to put the chair back at the top of the mat. We're not using it quite yet, but in a bit. And have your other props ready to grab. Okay. Back here. And returning to backs in hook line position. That's knees bent, feet on the mat. Pelvic tilts to begin. Pelvic tilts, not like bridge. Your seat doesn't come off the mat. Okay, the pelvis. We're going to move the pelvis forward and back. Exhale, push your belly button to the spine. Good. Inhale, push the belly away. Exaggerate that curve in the low back. Exhale, flattening out your curve in the low back or pushing it into the mat. Inhale, like an old mare, big sway in that low back. Back and forth at your pace. You set the tone, the pace with your breath. Good. I'm going to finish with the exaggerated curve in the low back, opposite to where we started. Good. Relax your back. Let it just rest where natural position. Reach around and find that block, okay, or your pillow, whatever you're using there. And place that between your thighs. Squeeze it in. We've done this kind of shape before, different planes. Now we're here on our back. We're going to do some hip lift, so you can bring your arms beside you to support. Your palms are touching your mat. Squeeze into your block and lift. And then bring it back down. You can move with your breath. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Try to keep your feet neutral, so toes are pointing forward. Good. All right. 2 more lifts. That's one more. Good. Seat comes down. You bring your knees in so you can grab a hold of your brick, put it off beside you. Keep your knees bent, feet on the mat. We're going to hug, say, the right knee in towards the chest. So keep that left one bent as it is. And do some ankle rotations with that right foot. Good. Change the directions of your ankle rotations. Getting some cracks there. And then point and flex your toes. Which just all seem nice here until we do these. It feels like work. Woo, little burning. Good. We'll switch to the other leg. Put the other knee in. Circle that ankle. Change the direction of your circles. And then point and flex the toes. Release that heel down. We're going to march right here on our backs. Okay, bring one knee up, put it down, and then the other. Good. So you can kind of get that idea. Here, maybe a little easier. If you want a little more of a challenge, you keep your knees up in a chair position, alternating those heels down there. Keep pushing the small of your back into the mat. If that's difficult for you, we're going to keep those heels down and lift it here. Right? The back is overarching. There's a chance you could hurt your back. And there might be just some discomfort. We're not looking for that here. For 3, 2, good job, and 1. Hug those knees in. You can rock a little or circle them as you're doing so, thinking about where your strap is. Hopefully you had it nearby, like I suggested. Your hamstring stretch. We're going to keep the other knee bent and that foot sole on the mat, but you can decide which foot you'd like to start with or which leg you want to start with. That is okay. Pressing the arch of your foot. Slide those hands down your strap if that allows, and back to your arms and come to the mat. And that leg, that extended one up towards the ceiling, is nice and straight. You push the heels higher than your toe. Good. Soften that knee so you can slide your second foot into the strap and then release that first one. We're going to keep that other one, the knee bend and the foot on the mat. You slide your hands down the strap, bring the back arms to the mat. Keep fighting for straight with that leg, that tall one, okay? Push the heel higher than your toes. You're going to soften the knee, remove your strap, put it off beside you. Bring that right foot sole down. We're going to do a floor twist here. So your knees are bent, feet are on the mat, but you can extend your arms out from the shoulders if that works for you. Inhale, and then exhale, drop your knees to the right. If it's okay for your neck, you can look over your left shoulder. Otherwise, the gaze is up towards the ceiling. Your eyes can be closed here, certainly. That's nice. Take the awareness in. If you need, that right hand maybe help anchor down the outside of that left leg. If that's available to you, you can do that. Inhale to bring the gaze and the knees back up. On an exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Maybe the left hand is helping there. You could be looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, the legs, the gaze back up. And exhale, let those knees fall out to the sides and the bottoms of your feet may come to touch for bound angle. Hands are resting down on your hips or on your belly. Nothing too stimulating for the shoulders. We are winding down here. we'll draw the knees back together. You can use your hands if you need to. And then bring your legs back up onto your chair where we started. But there is one little more piece of work today. So make sure you have your pillow or your chip foam block with you. Okay, I'm just going to slide my chair a bit closer so I stay in contact with you. Swing those legs up, bringing your calves onto your chair. 90 in the hips, 90 in the knees. Okay, equal those, actually doesn't matter yet for the thighs. Do those inner thigh work. We're going to do one more set of inner thigh work. So placing your pillow between your thighs or your chip foam block or whatever you have. Okay, we're going to squeeze, static, squeeze. All right. Squeeze into your prop, whatever that is, and relax, release. Lots of simple toning. Good. 4 more. Good. Nice. Grab your pillow, your chip foam block, put it off beside you, and we'll relax here. And we're static back one more time. So feeling the pelvis settle into the mat, those leg bones settling into the hip socket, resting the arms away from your body. If you have the opportunity to stay here, relax a little longer, and if you would like to, stay here and ignore what I'm about to say. But for those that have to get on with their day, hug the knees in towards the chest and roll onto one side and cradle your head in your arm there. You can use that top hand, push your way up, coming to your seat, and we'll say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed that yoga shifted. They looked a little different, or some is more familiar to you. Until we see each other again, namaste.